Most respected teacher, dear community, today is the 24th New Year's Eve of December in the year 2025. We are in the Upper Hamlet, in the still water meditation hall, in the Dharma Temple, and we're going to enjoy 3 sounds of the bell and enjoy our breathing at the same time as listening to the bell. One child has given me a chocolate in return for the tangerine. So maybe we need to find the Father Christmas or the Mother Christmas inside of each of us. That one who is compassionate, the one who is generous. And we're very lucky to be here in Plum Village or in any other practice center to celebrate Christmas. When I first came to Plum Village in 1986, we already celebrated Christmas in a very small way, because we are only a very few of us. And our teacher asked me to make a special dish for our Christmas celebration. I was living in the Lower Hamlet, and I think no one was living in the Upper Hamlet. But we came to the Upper Hamlet in order to celebrate Christmas. I made pizza. I don't know, it's very appropriate. Yeah. And everybody, Suko, Nitung, and Shaom and myself, we enjoyed Christmas Eve together. And since then, we have always practiced enjoying Christmas together in Plum Village. We don't feel it is strange. We are in search of a global a spirituality, a global ethic. That is our wish for the world, for peace in the world. We all have that deep desire, a longing for peace, for a spirituality. The other day, I and my attendants wanted to buy a saucepan. And the only place we could find where they have a saucepans was what is called a hypermarket. Before we have the supermarket, but now we have the hypermarket. Usually when we talk about hyper, it means something not quite right. Huh? If you have hypercalcemia or hyper something, it means that you have too much of something in your body. And I feel a hypermarket is also too much. Too much, yeah. But in that atmosphere of consumption, lack of mindfulness, lack of awareness, consuming for the sake of consuming, we begin to think about the different realms that we can live in. According to the Buddhist teaching of the southern transmission, there are 31 realms that we could be in. And these 31 realms are divided into 3. The desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm. Yeah. And we here, which realm you think we are in? Most of the time, we are supposed to be in the desire realm. That is how we are described as human beings, belong to the desire realm. But it is also said in the teachings that we want to move freely between the 3 realms. We want to be able to go to the form realm, the formless realm, and not be caught in any of them, because none of them will lead to our liberation. So our desire realm, it has 11 realms in it. And I have to tell you that one of those realms is called the hell realm. You might think that, and some people in the time of the Buddha thought this, that the hell realm is somewhere you go when you die. And the Buddha said, no, it's not a cave, which some people believe down under the ocean, where you go and suffer when you die for what you've done. The hell realm is where you go when you have very painful feelings. When you have very painful feeling in your body or in your mind, and you don't know how to take care of them, then you go to the hell realm. So that is how the Buddha described. If you want to read that sutra, it is number in the chapter 36 of the Samyutta Nikaya. So that is one place where we sometimes find ourselves, one realm. We start off the negative things and then we come to the positive. Don't worry. Now you are not in hell realm. So the next thing is called the warrior god realm. That is fighting. That is where you are fighting violent. So sometimes we find ourselves fighting violent. The next realm is the hungry ghost. A hungry ghost is someone who never feels satisfied, never feel loved, never feel understood. And we know that we have to love and understand ourselves. The next realm is called the animal realm. So some animals, they are very, very sweet. Some animals, they are more intelligent than the humans in some ways. They have better hearing, they have better sight, and so on. So we should not be too proud. We are also animal. But when we talk about the animal realm, we're talking about the worst kind of thing of the animals. The other day when I was practicing walking meditation, there's the human animal and the dog animals were busy hunting. The human animals have the gun. The dog animals, they just have their barking and their running after the prey. And I see at that time that the human animal and the dog animal, they are in the animal realm. So that is a realm we don't want to go in, I'm sure of us. The next realm is the human realm, when we are really being a human being. We call ourselves Homo sapiens, and we really want to be Homo conscious. Homo conscious means the Homo, we proudly call ourselves, the human that is aware, the aware human. So we have a real chance as human beings to be aware. And then, after that, there's the 6 realms. We come to what are called the heavenly realms. But just like we said, the hell realm is not somewhere else when we die. The heavenly realms are also not somewhere else when we die. Yeah. And I will just mention 6, 9, I will leave out 2 of the heavenly realms. One is called the Bodhicitta realm. And Bodhicitta means contentment, satisfaction. When we feel content, we don't feel we need anything else. We feel you are enough, you have it all. Then we are in heaven. Yeah. And that Bodhicitta realm, that is where the next Buddha will come from. That is, we understand that. So that is good. The next Buddha will be a Sangha, and that Sangha will be full of members who are content with what they have. Yeah. We don't need a hypermarket to hyper-consume. And another heaven is called the heaven of those who delight in creation. So those are special kind. They are called gods. In the time of the Buddha, people were very aware of gods. The gods were happy, they were full of light. They used to come and ask the Buddha questions sometimes. And But in our time, we don't ever see gods. Huh? Has anybody seen a god? I don't think so. Yeah, if you have, please put me right. Huh? Yeah. So then, in our time, where can we find gods? We find them right here, amongst us. Whenever, when you learn about Greek mythology, you always learn about the Greek gods. They are always laughing. And whenever I used to go on tour with our teacher and organized retreats, and our teacher would give teachings and everybody would laugh. And I thought, oh, we are all gods, sitting, listening. Yeah, that is a part of our mind. So delighting in creation gods, they are like musicians, like artists who find a great joy in creating things. Yeah. And it also means that we find great joy in the creation. That is, we enjoy this beautiful planet Earth offering to us. That is also a kind of God realm. So, and then there is what is called the realm of the 33. I don't remember why it's called the realm of the 33. Triatimsaka realm. But that is where you go when you make a merit. What do we mean by making merit? I think we mean making happiness. We do something that makes us feel happy, that makes other people feel happy. And then or we feel compassion sometimes, and that makes us feel happy. And that kind of happiness put us in the God realm. So that is all to do with the desire realm. You can be in any of those 11 realms, which we mentioned. I only mentioned 9. I've forgotten 2, I'm sorry, but never mind. You can be in any of those in the desire realm. So we have hope, huh? That's the human species, I think we do. And the second realm is called the rupa. It's called the form realm. So that is the realm that we touch in meditation. When we are practicing walking meditation, sitting meditation, maybe even total relaxation meditation, we touch a realm. And out of all those realms, of which there is 12 to 27, it's realm 12 to 27. How many is that? 12 and 3 is 15. There is 15 realms that we can touch in our meditation. And 4 of those realms you can touch nirvana. You can touch nirvana right here and right now when you are meditating. So wrote a book. It's in English. The translation is Enjoying the Ultimate. The ultimate here means something like nirvana. Enjoying nirvana. Enjoying nirvana in the here and the now. And when we were thinking about how to translate, what is in Vietnamese that book, huh? Phương ngoại hả? Cái gì? Rong chơi phương ngoại hả? Rong chơi phương ngoại hả? Well, that means something like enjoying our stroll in the phương ngoại, the space outside space or something. Yeah. But you couldn't translate that into English. So we translate as enjoying the ultimate in the end. But at one point, Swam said, why don't we translate it as resting in God? Yeah, so that is, if, this is what Swam said, if we study Christianity with an open mind, we shall see that it also has its nirvana, which is called God. If we wanted to translate this sutra into Christian terminology, that is the chapter on nirvana from the Dhammapada, into Christian terminology, we would call it the sutra on resting in God. Yeah. So now we hear sound of the bell. In the village, which is near to the new hamlet, we have, there is a church. And there used to be a priest who lived just opposite the church, on the other side of the road. But as few and few people came to the church, the priest had to go. I don't know if he retired or what happened. And one priest has about 6 churches to take care of, because the number of people who want to go to the institutional church are getting fewer and fewer all the time. And I like that church very much. I think it belonged to the 12th century. And in the former time, the church had a very big key. And whenever I want to go to the church, the priest, housekeeper, I keep the key and knock on the door, and she gives you the key, and you can open the church and go in. Mm. But then she's not there anymore. And now the mayor keeps the key. And the mayor told me that any time you want to come into the church and pray, I will come and open for you, come and open the church for you. And then one day he said to me, you know, the people here, they keep asking, can we have a mass, Eucharist? Huh? And so one time I persuade a priest to come and offer the Eucharist, but only 2 people turn up. So he is not the priest that say he won't come anymore. Mm. And so the mayor said to me, you get so many people down there on a day of mindfulness. Why don't you bring them all up here and have a day and have a day of mindfulness in the church? Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think I really would like to do that, but we haven't done it yet. But we did do something. We went and sang carols in the church. Yeah, and that was very, very nice. And one sister did the verses for inviting the great bell in the church. You know, the church has very good acoustics, because in the past they didn't have sound systems like we do. So they needed to have very good acoustics. Yeah, so it's wonderful. When our teacher was here, whenever he composed a new chant, we would always go to the church and chant it to see what it sounded like. Anyway, the reason for this digression is that while we continue to see fewer and fewer people going to the Christian church, there are more and more people who are longing for a kind of in-depth Christianity. One Christian teacher of meditation said that one time he was going to a church to offer meditation in the Christian way. And he expected 6 or 7 people to turn up. And 200 people turned up. So the church was absolutely packed. And so that is really very moving to know that people have this longing for the contemplative kind of Christianity. And in the Christian tradition, there is also the mindful breathing. There are desert fathers, mothers who taught mindful breathing. I think that this is really the way to a global spirituality. We don't need just Christians and Buddhists. Of course, we can call ourselves Muslim, we can call ourselves Hindu, we can call ourselves Buddhist and Christian. But is there some way that we can all come together and practice together meditation, walking meditation, sitting meditation, breathing meditation? I think it's not important to be a Buddhist or to be a Hindu or to be anything. And when people ask me, when people see me in the railway station or in the town, they sometimes, or when I go to the hospital, they ask me, what are you? Why wear a shaved head and robe? What are you? It's very difficult for me to answer. But normally I say something like, I am a Buddhist nun. But if I look deeply into it, it doesn't really have very much meaning to say I am a Buddhist nun. Because I have very deep roots in Christianity. To just say that I am a Buddhist nun doesn't really cover the whole picture, but it satisfies the person who asked the question. So that is why I say that. So I really want us to be able to devote our time, our spirituality to that kind of global spirituality and global ethic. In Buddhism, we have something that is called, in our meditation, we have something we call Tian Ngữ. Who can write the Chinese on the board for me? Yeah? Tian Ngữ. No one, huh? Thank you, Hirduk. I was hoping you were there somewhere. You understand my Vietnamese? Thank you. Giỏi hả? Very good. Oh, that's very clear, huh? Thank you to him. So if you're Chinese, you recognize what this is. And in English we might say meditation words. And now in contemplative Christianity they talk about prayer words. And people, when they are meditating, they use prayer words. And in Buddhism we use meditation words. That means that when we breathe in, we say to ourselves in. When we breathe out, we say out. We say, I have arrived, I am home. And we use these words to help us to concentrate on what we really want to concentrate on. In Christianity, it's the Christian contemplative tradition is exactly the same. I don't know because I don't know enough about Judaism, I don't know enough about Islam, but I think probably there's also something similar there. I very happy yesterday I received the Arabic version of the 5 mindfulness trainings. So now I have the Arabic and the Hebrew version of the 5 mindfulness trainings on my desk. Not exactly my desk, on top of my cupboard. And every time I look at them, I just send my prayers to the Middle East. I think that the 5 mindfulness trainings are global ethics. They can be accepted by anyone of any tradition. Someone in the Jewish tradition rewrote the 10 Commandments, having read the 5 mindfulness trainings of Plum Village. They rewrote them and began each commandment with aware of the suffering caused by, or aware of the something caused by. And it makes a lot of sense. When the Buddha taught the 5 mindfulness trainings, the Buddha taught them according to the time of the Buddha. So with the first mindfulness trainings, the Buddha taught the student, the holy disciple of the Buddha, practicing the 5 mindfulness trainings, does away with all weapons. It doesn't keep any weapons anymore. Yeah, and is determined not to kill even the smallest insect. That is the way the Buddha described the first mindfulness training. And the second mindfulness training is, and the holy disciple does not take what is not given. He finds great joy in not taking what is not given. He practices generosity, like Father Christmas. Yeah. And finds great joy in practicing generosity. In Buddhism, we talk about the 3, the emptiness of giving. Yeah. The giver of the gift, the receiver of the gift, and the gift itself are empty of a separate reality. So if you have a gift, that gift, it cannot be a gift if you don't give it. So there has to be someone to give it. And there has to be someone to receive it in order for it to be a gift. So the gift cannot be there without the giver. And the giver cannot be there without the gift, and cannot be there without the receiver. It's clear, huh? The receiver cannot be there without the gift and without the giver. So we see the interbeing nature. And that thing which I am offering, that thing which I am giving, it doesn't really come from me. It comes from the universe. Yeah. It's not really me that is giving, it's not something. Yeah. So when we look deeply like that, we can see the emptiness of giving, and we can feel that we don't have a separate self. And the person who received doesn't have a separate self. We inter-are. Yeah. And then the joy we get from giving is very great. Mm-hmm. When we had a chance in Thailand to go on the alms round, it's also a very nice practice. When you go on the alms round, you look at the person who is making the offering, the lay person who's making the offering, and you look at the offering, and you see how we inter-are. I am inter-am with the person who is offering. And to feel the happiness of the person who is offering. Because they feel very happy to be able to offer to the monastic community. And you feel that happiness. And after that, you offer up the merit of their giving. That is, we want this. You have merit because you have made an offering. And we want that merit not to stay here. We want it to go out into the world. So that is the second mindfulness training. And the third mindfulness training is about fidelity, about protecting your partner. And somebody in the Dhamma sharing, which I was in, after the explanation of the 5 mindfulness trainings, they said that, oh, now I am not in a relationship with anyone. But if I take the 3rd mindfulness training, I have to, because I don't have a copy here, I'm sorry. Anybody have a copy of the mindfulness trainings at hand? No, okay. Yeah, please. Thank you very much. Merci. Right. So, they want to... Oh, where is that? It's not here anymore. Yeah, okay. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without mutual consent, true love, and a deep, long-term commitment. That is the bit I was looking for. Thank you. And they ask, but in the future, I don't know. I'm not in relationship now. But in the future, how can I know whether my commitment will be deep and long? Because it's not just up to me. It's up to the other person too. Yeah. So that is what we heard this morning. Yeah. Deep, long-term commitment. So I think that it's easy You have to ask the other person, I will have deep long-term commitment with you. Will you have a deep long-term commitment with me? If not, then goodbye or something like that. That is what we is a practice to be able to love. To be able to love in a monastic community, your brothers and your sisters, with the brotherhood and sisterhood, siblinghood, it's not so difficult. But to love one person, it may be more difficult. I had a friend who was a Catholic nun, and she left in order and married. And I asked her one time, which is more easy, to relate to your sisters in the community or to relate to one person? She said that it's easier to relate to my sisters in the community than to one person. So I think that it's when we decide that we want to have a physical relationship, we recognize it's an emotional relationship, it's a spiritual relationship, and that it is not always going to be easy, but we won't give up on the other person. Yeah. So that is the kind of commitment that is expected by the third mindfulness training. And the fourth mindfulness training, the holy disciple does not deceive anyone. They always say what is true. When we hear the word true, we think it means that what you perceive as true. So I perceive that you don't smell very nice. And so this happened. This is an example that somebody gave to me the other day. And I say, you don't smell very nice. But that is, maybe your perception is like that, and you say that's true. But it isn't going to bring happiness to anyone. It's not going to bring confidence to anyone or hope to anyone. And so it's not really the truth. Actually, none of our perceptions 100% true. We just try and get closer to the truth. But if we look at the real meaning of true, it means something that is beneficial, something that brings confidence, hope to the other person. And the fifth mindfulness training is about, the Buddha described he does not drink alcohol. Yeah. Because alcohol, it distorts, it does something to our brain. It changes something in our brain. And even if we can do very well, we drink one glass of wine or something a week, according to the un verre ça va, deux verres le dégât. So according to the French driving laws, it's okay to have one glass. Yeah, but if you have more than one glass, 2 glasses, then there can be a lot of dégâts, destruction. Yeah. So that is something that we have to look deeply into. When we decide that we are going to receive the fifth mindfulness training, we decide that We don't have to receive the 5th mindfulness training. We can just receive the 1st mindfulness training or whatever. But we have to look deeply and see that we are not just receiving the mindfulness trainings for ourselves. We are receiving them for our children, for our grandchildren. We are receiving them for those children that we don't consider to be ours. That is the children who are living in poor countries and don't have enough to eat. Because all the land that is taken up to grow vines, that land could be used for growing food. And therefore we would have more food in the world to give to those who need it. One practitioner took the 5th mindfulness training. She was a businesswoman. She had to go to many business parties where everybody drinks alcohol and expects everybody else to drink alcohol. But she always said, no, please bring me something non-alcoholic. And then one time people came to her and they said, how come that you are so relaxed and so happy, smiling all the time, and you don't drink anything, you don't drink any alcohol? Because people have the idea that in order to loosen up and be friendly, you have to drink something. It's not natural to you, yeah. So that is what the Buddha taught, and I think this can also be a global ethic. So when we think about the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, in what kind of terms do we think about that? Jesus Christ lived until 30 years old, we hear. He was very young. And I think about my sisters and brothers who are under 30, yeah, or 30, yeah. They have very strong bodhicitta, a very strong wish to help the world. So I understand a little bit more about Jesus Christ. I also understand that Jesus Christ was made of the 5 skandhas, the body, the feelings, the perceptions, the mental formations, and the consciousness. And when we talk about the birth of Christ, we are thinking about the birth maybe of certain mental formations. There is one thing that we used to sing when we were children. At school, I went to Anglican school. So now I try and sing for you, but I don't know if I can. Huh? I hope none of you are allergic to Anglican hymns, because if you are, I'm sorry. I understand why you might be allergic. Lord of all hopefulness, Lord of all joy, whose trust ever childlike, no cares can destroy. Be there we pray. Your bliss in our hearts, Lord, at the dawn of the day. Sorry, anybody feeling very allergic? If they are, let me know, I won't continue. Yeah, so here the word, sorry. So here you have the word your, and you have the word our, and you can't see. And your, it refers to the mental formation of Jesus Christ. And our refers to, I don't know, us, the one who's singing, yeah, at the break of the day, yeah. So somehow, the two things, the your and the our, is connected. And this has something to do with the contemplative Christianity, because we do not see that Jesus Christ is something out there, up there, but something is also in our heart. Yeah, and we need to go from our understanding of Jesus Christ's happiness in order to touch the happiness in our own heart. So when we have the gatha for waking up in the morning, waking up I smile. I have 24 brand new hours. I vow to live them fully. Why? Why in the morning when we wake up do we have happiness? We have happiness because we have a blank page in front of us. It's up to us what we want to do. In the Jewish tradition, it is said, when I wake up, God is put my soul back in my body. It's like that we are new. So this happiness, this bliss, is something in our heart, is something in our store consciousness, and we can all generate. We can all find that in ourselves, but we need Father Christmas, or we need something outside of us to be able to inspire us to come back and find in ourselves. And when we practice meditation, we see that the one who bows and the one who's bowed to are both empty. Yeah. Lord of all, okay. Skillfulness, Lord of all faith, with hands skilled to work at the plain and the lid, be there at our labors and give us, we pray, your strength in our hearts, Lord, at the noon of the day. So when we go to work, we need a strength. We have Buddhism, we have a bodhisattva, it's called Mahastama Prapta. Daichi, huh? One of the Avalokiteshvara, Amitabha, and Mahastama Prapta, bodhisattva of greater strength. And when we go to work, and we will certainly meet difficulties. We meet disagreement, we meet an atmosphere that we haven't generated in our Sangha, not that kind of atmosphere. And so we need the strength. And the strength, it comes from our practice, it comes from our Sangha. So please always have a Sangha. And then when you go to work, it's strength. You will have the strength to meet the difficulties. One of my sisters this morning described very well. I would like to ask her how to describe again. Can you do that for us, Sister Maitong? What you shared this morning about your strength? Are you translating, Joanne? You certainly need a microphone. I thought you might come up so everyone can see you. Nói lên đi.
Dear respected Thầy, dear Sư Cô, and the Sangha, this is a little bit unprepared, so anything comes up for my soul consciousness, you will just have it. I hope it's okay with you. This morning we were talking about how when we come here, everybody, shall I say, is very kind and nice. And when we go back home, outside in the world, not everybody is like that. So the question was, if we are so kind and nice, then other people may bully us, and they may take advantage of us. So how do we deal with that outside? So I was just sharing my personal experience that when before I became a nun, I was also living outside like you. I was wearing the same clothes, maybe different fashion, but also light clothes. And I went to work and everything. So so I had to face those things outside also. But luckily, as Sister Chân Đức said before, I had a Sangha. I took refuge in my Sangha. And so when I went to the Sangha, I learned to build the strength. Because in the Sangha, I met people like you here. And I was able to water my good seeds, and they water my good seeds. So I learned to build my inner strength. And that was my foundation, my base, so that I could go out and to work and to meet with people. And so when something happened to me, I had enough mindfulness and calmness to be able to respond in a calm way. And it's not a reaction, but it's a response. And of course, I could not wait until that thing to happen to practice, because if I waited until then, I wouldn't have enough strength. So the key thing is I had to start practicing when I was sitting like this with nothing to do. So I collected little bit by little bit and built the strength. I think, is that okay like that, Sư Cô?
Yeah, I think you should give the example when you were on the telephone.
So can we not publish this because I because I came from Australia. I lived in Australia for a long time, and I worked in the mainstream
legal.
A place where I work in the call center with my accent works than this today, you know. And so one day I received a call, and I don't know, maybe impermanence, maybe that person is in this room today, I don't know, so please forgive me. And the caller was, often I would have people, when they heard of my voice, they knew that I am not negative speaker. So sometimes they would say, can I speak to somebody who speaks English, please? But that time, this one, he called, and after the routine, you know, how can I help you, and find out what he wanted and so on. So I asked him to wait for me because I needed to look at the information. And while he was waiting for me, he was talking to somebody at his place. And he was just kind of talking about me in a not very kind language, kind of calling me name and stuff like that. But thanks to my Sangha and the strength that I built a little bit, then I just continue to serve him in a calm way. And in the end, before we finish, as a routine, I would say, is there anything else I can help you today? You all know that, right? And then he said, no, that's all. And I said, but before I let you go the phone, can I share with you something? And he said, what's that? And I said, do you know what? Whatever you said about me, I heard it all. and then he said, oh, I am so sorry. So he kind of very apologetic. And I think if we could respond to people in a calm way like that, people will their kindness and good seeds will be touched as well. So, yeah, that's my story.
Thank you
for
very
your
much,
listening.
sister. One more, just one more, if you can bear with me, huh? Lord of all gracefulness, Lord of all, no, Lord of all kindliness, Lord of all grace, with hands swift to welcome and arms to embrace, be there at our homing, and give us, we pray, your love in our hearts, Lord, at the eve of the day. Yeah. So, three things, huh? Love, huh? So, when you come home from work or come home from school, before you open the door, come back to your breathing, because during the day we have been subject to a certain amount of stress, and now we are changing the workplace into the home, and we want to bring our freshness, our love into the home. So our teacher always said, when you come back from school or work, always stop a little bit before you open the door to go in order to know how you are feeling and what you are going to transmit to your family. Oh, I think I have to stop here. I'm sorry. So thank you very much for listening, and please make the most of your time here. You are contributing something that our world needs very much. And we are contributing that peace, that kindness, as a Sangha. So let's keep doing that. When we go back home too, make sure you have a Sangha. Yeah. Thank you.